say that the new record is going to surprise a couple of people.
Especially old-time W.A.S.P fans, because this thing's got an industrial edge to it. And we decided, we got back together in August of '95. As soon as I left here that last time when I did last promo trip, I called him within a week of getting home. And the one thing that we determined is that whatever we did, we just didn't want to take a trip down memory lane. We said, okay, if that's the case, we also have to make the sound more contemporary as well. You know, because I know a lot of old diehard W.A.S.P fans are expecting Wild Child and all that stuff, but we wanted to make a record as if we had never existed before. I mean, we are conscious that we have a past, and we do have an obligation to longtime fans, but also at the same time, we have an obligation to ourselves as well to do what's right for us. I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best record we've ever done, because everybody says that when they first finish a record. They go, oh, this is the best thing I've ever done. You know, you don't know. It takes 6 months to a year to evaluate it. But I would say this without question, this is the most intense record we've ever made. No question about it.
Visuals and music always were strung together with W.A.S.P. So in that case, yeah, I'm totally curious about the show tonight. Is there anything from a couple of years ago that you will bring with you?
No, everything is new. You know, it's like...
We brought a few road cases.
Good old road cases.
Yeah, right. We felt like this. If The Exorcist scared people 20 years ago, it won't scare them now. And the W.A.S.P show of 12 years ago won't scare people. You know, we've got, if we're going to be a dangerous band, and I don't feel that there's really one truly dangerous band out there. If we're going to be a dangerous band, a band who is capable of doing anything at any moment, a band who's capable of striking fear in the hearts of promoters, governments, parents, that we could not do what we were doing before. Again, we didn't want to take a trip down memory lane.
What you did 10 years ago, or even longer ago, like, I don't know, throwing raw meat into the crowd or whipping naked women, is something that younger bands nowadays do to shock people.
Right. But it's lost its shock value.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because you know, you take a hammer.
Right.
You take a hammer and hit yourself in the knee with it. You don't have to hit yourself very hard. You know, just keep doing it. Eventually, your knee will go numb. It's the same thing with visuals. You know, it's like you've got the whole object of either making records, making movies, a stage show like we're doing, whatever, is constant stimulation of the human mind. That's the reason when humans sit on an airplane too long, they get bored, because their mind's not being stimulated. You've got to constantly take that human imagination and push it into an area that it hasn't been before. That's what makes people interested. You mentioned other bands, you know, from a decade ago coming back. They may feel that doing the same thing is a safe approach. To me, it's the opposite. That, to me, that's a death sentence. I think a group like KISS can come back and do what they're doing because they're not really selling records at this point. You know, they're doing that Las Vegas style show that they do, you know, and that audience of theirs is older and all that, and I think it's perfectly fine for that. But a band that, say, is only 10 years old, that's treading on dangerous ground because you can be obsolete very quick. Our feelings, like I said before, is that we wanted to do something that was contemporary, where almost like we never had a past. And some people might view that as more dangerous, but I view it as less dangerous because from a personal point of view, from an artistic point of view, I'm my own best salesman if I believe in what I'm doing. I saw Bono on TV a few years back when they were doing that Zoo World Tour. And he sits up, I mean, the guy's an arrogant prick, you know, and he sits up and he says, we're not going to do these songs that, you know, the fans have wanted to hear for so long. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on, you know, I'm watching him like a hawk because I'm thinking to myself, I don't ever want to make a mistake like that because that is literally denying the people who put you there in the first place. You know, you have an obligation. That's like somebody says, don't you get tired of playing I Want to Be Somebody? I said, hey man, it's only 4 minutes long. You know, it's like, how much of that is that out of my life? not a big deal, you know?